have played together for a while. They know how to work the laning phase really well. It takes no readjustment. It's simply about all these connections and, like, say, mid-game and macro objectives, but the micro of laning has not really affected Aurora because they've taken TA2000 and Kaori as a pair, and they still keep jabs and Q, so we have to see how well Mantaps can kind of match that laning prowess here.
Well, it kind of makes sense, right? If you were going to build a roster with people from different regions, it does make sense to kind of bring a duo along with you and see how it does go. Kaori does break his own smoke against the smoke of Raven, so realizes they're on the high ground. He'll back his way out just fine. Doesn't seem like either side is really too interested in a very early team fight, but we'll have to wait and see. See what kind of havoc we're going to see from this Monkey King this game, because I feel like every game we see with MK, we just talk about how absolutely broken Monkey King is. Just with that Simian stride, it's just so ridiculous.
It really is. Really, again, I'm a bit surprised we haven't gotten anything to touch that down on a notch, but it is what it is. I'm also a little bit surprised to see Jackie back to being Jack Boys. Not seen that since Motivated Trust, so I was a little bit in shock that he's throwing back all the way then.
Sometimes you've got to go back to the past, Jonathan. Nice little stun out from Jackie. Lloyd getting chased, getting body blocked here by Jabs. Could be the first blood, but though no, Mamang Daya goes down, and meanwhile Lloyd does also drop. The Mamang Daya and Lloyd both dropping this early on. They gave first blood to Abed to make matters even worse, Jonathan. That's a pretty bad start if you are the Daya.
That it is.
I love the have fun after you get to... Oh,
yeah,
beautiful.
That's Ovid.
Beautiful.
He says it after the runes. Every single time today. He said have fun after the runes get picked up, so after any initial engagement. Now Ovid's he's been feeling himself again after Blacklist. He's been looking good here on Aurora. And this is not good news for Mamangai. Again, the puck laning into a Monkey King is not the best thing in the world. Puck shouldn't be completely bullied out. At the same time, it's not a very easy lane for Puck, considering every other matchup you're going to have to stand further back. You're not going to be able to try to poke. Abed can always threaten with a Jingu up and with a throw of the Boundless. There's some good rotations that can come in as well. You have to be very smart with your phase shift dodge. Though it is a longer cooldown at the very least on the Boundless, so Daya can just sit back and soak. But just giving first blood away to Abed, already has the boots up, can just try to chase, even without the Boundless, doesn't care.
And he's got the Jingu proc. Very, very nice. And it certainly is already a difficult situation here for Mamang Daya, as Abed is definitely controlling the mid lane quite nicely already. Those side lanes, I mean, top lane, you've got Lloyd, you've got Jackie, you've got Q, and you've got Jabs. So far, pretty even affair between these two. Jabs and Jackie both sitting at 5 CS. Obviously, things could warm up a little bit once you hit the level 2, level 3 marks on these heroes, but for now, they'll sit back and relax.
They will. Jackie shouldn't be under the most threat, and they can reach quite a fair bit with Alina. Again, there's some magic damage you can apply onto Jabs here. He's forced to go for the level 2 reactive armor, just to sustain from the poke coming out from Jackie. It's a little bit harder for Lloyd to play the lane overall. I think the Treant isn't able to just run up, try to Nature's Grasp, right-click someone down. They do have a lot of greater turn potential onto the Treant, and they have managed to cut the tree line down. So there's not as much free room for Lloyd to kind of try to apply pressure in the lane, which does take quite a fair bit away from the Treant Protector, right? You pick this hero to have a strong laning phase nowadays. You're not really able to leverage that when you're having to deal with a Timbersaw and a Bat Rider here.
Bot lane also going very well so far for TA2000. I've got to say, this Wind Ranger already off to a brilliant start, and it's kind of the thing, like, you don't want to give this man a good start on a hero like Wind Ranger, because it's just too much once he has those core items up, and we're already top of the CS board. Here is the Wind Ranger, so another fantastic start for Aurora. It really does start to feel like they are winning every single lane. I mean, at the very least, the bottom and mid lane have been won so far by Aurora, and the top lane is a pretty even affair at the very least. You know, obviously, we are only 3 minutes in, but these things do matter, John.
That they do. I mean, just having a 19-5 Wind Ranger, the threat of, say, an early Javelin starts to become a big reality that you have to face. That's quite a fair bit of DPS on a hero, like the Wind Ranger, of course, into something like the Maelstrom. We do see probably power treads here for TA2000. A bit surprising, breaking the trend from the Arcanes, figuring he should get enough mana coming in from Auri down the line, I suppose, so not wanting his own regen. Perhaps could line up for a null to help rectify that as well. Does have the mantle and the circle up.
Just look at Arbit running down Mamang Daya. This is so disrespectful. He just runs him down over and over again. Look at this. I mean, he's got a creep wave underneath the tower now, but Mamang Daya, he just can't catch a break. But is he dead? He's not dead, surely. I mean, Arbit's literally not leaving him alone. Arbit's just going for the kill, and he might have it. He'll get away for now. Arbit is not giving up. He wants the kill, and I think he's got it. Oh, Mamang Daya is trying so hard. What?
Oof.
I mean,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Not a fun lane
It's a clinic, John.
That it is. You really have to play very defensive there. You can't play around playing forward, relying just on the phase shift. Hobbit can always just run in, get his Jingu stacks up, and just, as you've seen, run down. It comes down to this really early boots that we're pointing out, right? Like, he gets first blood, he gets tangos into the lane, doesn't bother with a bottle, doesn't bother with anything else, and just goes straight for boots. And that just allows this gap closing onto the puck.
Well, Mamang Daya at least got the D ward off on the Observer ward. That was kind of the bane of his existence in that last fight that we just saw between these two. Arbit just having so much vision over the puck as now the Treant Protector Lloyd in huge trouble. Does get a TP away. Gets back towards his own tier 1 tower and still has plenty of regen to commit. Though again, I'll tell you what, like the top lane's the only one that's really gone semi-decently here. Jackie now top of the CS board on the laner. So that is going pretty darn well for this dire end, but every other lane has gone relatively badly.
And it has. Again, the mid lane's the one that's highlighted the most, but even the bot lane, as we were talking about earlier, TA2000 still free farming up. No pressure coming out from Raven. No real presence from Raven. He did go for the Burst Strike Sandstorm build-up, no Stinger. Not like you can really Stinger down consistently a Wind Ranger. At the very least, Zephyr has some room to stack up, but his Ancient Camp is blocked off with no D-Ward. The resources aren't being gathered as fast as you'd want. At the least, you do have rune control for Mamang Daya. You will have the Invis on hand, but can't really play off the back of that. At least has some protection if Abed gets aggressive. And they also haven't been able to go across the river to spot out the stacks of Aurora, which they've been very consistent with today, and, you know, in the history of this org, in the history of most of these players, they have been very fond of their triangle stacks. They got a whole bunch more that, again, doesn't feel like Mantaps will be able to spot out anytime soon.
Mamang Daya, I mean, he's surrounded. Oh, he breaks the Invis as well. That was the one thing he couldn't have done. He'll try to jaunt away, but they will trap him up anyway with the Ensnare out and the Firefly to follow from Q. Mamang Daya still trying to jaunt out is gonna make it. But the emphasis on ensuring Mamang Daya is not having a good game is very high from Aurora.
Yeah, and I like that read from Aurora, right? Like, they know they can leave their Timbersaw alone up top. It's a hero that can thrive by itself, not very easy to burst down. TA2000 as well, not really easy for a Sand King to gap close into and kill off. And they can just afford to play elsewhere. And Q is stacking up, rotates onto the mid. Sure, you don't find a kill, but you're also dragging these other supports of Mantaps onto the mid lane to free up those 1v1 lanes on the side, where your heroes on Aurora just will not lose those 1v1s.
Certainly a very strong start from Aurora. Bottom lane, bit of a chase going on here. Looks like they found Raven this time around, and the Shackle does land. Raven, he'll get a Burrow Strike off in time, but the chase is still on. They really want the kill. Jingu will proc, and that'll just basically ensure that Abed will secure a third kill for himself in this game one. Gets a salve off, and it's back to business.
Yeah. Just very clinical from Aurora. 4-0 already here. Side of Mantaps, just not able to find some early aggression. To be fair, it is fairly difficult. Feels like a lot of this momentum perhaps early on is going to have to come out from Daya and from Raven. But stuff like their blinks are going to be a ways off, considering this laning start. Your support duo can probably make plays once they hit level 6. And that's still going to be a ways off as well. At the least, they did manage to secure their Wisdom Rune earlier on. They're not going to be at a huge EXP deficit overall. Your saving grace is the start for Jackie. And he has, again, he's not being shoved away in his own 1v1 lane. He is finding his farm. They do manage to scout out the stacks that QR is clearing out now. Could maybe try to do something about the Ancients, but it's a lot of creeps that you have to try to kill off. Probably not going to be able to do so.
Mid lane, jump in on Arbit, but Arbit, he's not the easiest kill to get. They will still land a follow-up stun, though. He does have help incoming. Arbit dropping low, still running. However, the heal's coming in. Surely they've got the kill, and they do. The scatter blast from Zephyr will land and get the job done. Meanwhile, Mamang Daya looking for a bit of an extra kill, but is not going to find. So a nice pickup. Something that he desperately needed was that Monkey King kill, and they've got.
Raven.
Bottom lane is kind of the thing, right? You leave this guy behind, and of course Aurora are going to try and abuse it immediately as Raven does get caught by the power shot of TA2000.
Kind of expected, right?
So you find Arbit, but you lose your offlane tank.
A prize.
It's still a bigger kill for Mantaps overall. You are bleeding a lot of gold out, and I don't consider the Monkey King the highest priority target. Feels like TA2000 getting this running start into the Maelstrom is going to be a massive issue. This Wind Ranger is going to have a lot of presence going forward. Abed's just hitting his level spikes where he's a nuisance. Daya.
Yeah, Mamang Daya committed an orb already, and now the lasso to lock him down and ensure there's no way out. Strong plays once again from Aurora as now Arbit able to secure the mid-tier 1 tower basically for free. Concerning signs again for the Dire team, and well, for the side of Aurora, I mean, they're 7-1 right now, and I mean, they're just hitting their stride. The game's only just started.
And it has. On the side of Mantaps, gonna need some recovery. Jackie, he's somewhat matching TA2000's farm, although a couple of kills TA2000 has participated in has bolstered him up a significant amount. But you are looking at very similar Maelstrom Gleipnir timings here for our pause ones. I just doesn't feel like the lean is going to be fully ready at that point. You do have level 6s up on your supports. Overgrowth and Kisses are on hand. They could maybe launch off Daya instead. Get a Dream Coil into the Kisses out, find a burst play. He will try to smoke to get that done.
Here we go. See if they can make it work. I mean, it's only Q really up at that top lane, but maybe they can steal the Ancient Stacks. Never mind, the Ancient Stacks were already taken by Jabs, so scratch that. It's going to have to be a Q kill that they're looking for, unless they turn towards Arbed, and they will. But Arbed, sensing something is awry, will immediately back himself out of there, and, well, sadly, the smoke ends up amounting to nothing.
Just a little bit of wasted time for the 3 units. I do appreciate that they're trying to get a kill, but it's fairly obvious when no one's clearing out the mid. Don't spot those supports. They notice timing. Are still maintaining that smoke on Lloyd and Zephyr, but not for that long. On the side of Aurora, again, they're just working this map perfectly. Triangle control is still perfect. There is a forward ward now. But again, you're not able to contest on Mantaps. And I just don't know when you're fully confident. Are we looking for perhaps a Blink Dagger timing down the line? Daya's not going for it, and Raven's just going for Bloodstone as well. So your initiation's just not going to be easy. Meanwhile, look at Aurora. They've got the Blink and Q.
Q already having the blink up is a bit concerning as Mamang Daya once again going to go down. That's Q for you, John. This Pos 4, he's arguably one of my favorite Pos 4 players, and this is one. Like, he just always performs well. That's why Aurora still have him in the team. I guarantee.
Yeah, to be completely fair, Q was jungling for a solid, I don't know, 2-3 minutes straight. Clearing out these stacks he built up for himself. No, because Jabs is on Timbersaw. Right, Aurora has a draft that they love to run. Having this off lane for Jabs where he's not going to get dominated one-on-one. Can hold that lane steady and bully back, allowing Q to farm up in something like the Batrider. With no contest from Mantaps, no one scouting out the triangle until it's too late. And now you have to deal with a Batrider that has more farm than your Puck. This is looking almost reminiscent of the last series we were watching there, Mikey.
Certainly is a very one-sided affair thus far here for Aurora. All 3 of the cause of Aurora at the top of the net worth board.
Excellent.
Jackie was having a pretty damn good time on the Lena, but it has started to slow down just a little bit, as he does have to now join his team and see if they can secure some towers and open up the map a little bit. Yeah, you don't really want to have to drag Jackie here along with the rest of the squad, but I don't think they feel quite safe going for this tier 1 tower. And you can kind of see with the way they're positioned here on Mantaps, they certainly do not. They'll actually leave it. Aurora, they weren't there to defend anyway, but they are just not confident enough to go for the bottom tier 1. So back to the farm game it is. But now a 2-man smoke out from Aurora, just Carry and Q going. They've got the lasso back up and ready, and they've got a nice ward watching Lloyd and Jackie right now. And Q, he wants the bigger target. Jackie, can he get away? He certainly can. Lloyd will save with the slow, and now the turnaround is there on for the Batrider, and Q is gone. Lloyd, with that Nature's Grasp, really saving the day with that movement slow.
Just enough to cut off Q. Q not having the Force Staff yet, and he gets a little bit ahead of himself in that jump in, and they get punished. A significant kill for Mantaps, all things considered, considering how much impact Q has had early on. Was on a 4-kill streak. Might be able to isolate Aurora 1 by 1 now if they're not too careful here, but looks like TA2000 wants to play poke.
I mean, why not? He's got the Focus Fire up, he's got the Whirlwind going, and, well, that's going to be a very dead tree, as Lloyd unable to survive through that. With that TA2000, he'll get started on the bottom tier 1 tower. And it seems as though Mantaps, they don't really have much in the way of defending right now. It seems like everyone's just playing catch-up at the moment.
They are. And you've almost got the Gleipnir done here for Jackie, at the least on the Lena. That can provide some forward control, a little bit more damage for your Lena as well. I'm curious how much this Bloodstone for Raven pays off. And again, going back to like discussions with Execration's coach JL, they were trying to identify games where the Sand King could skip out Blink, and that's normally with, say, the Dust Devil, which you do have on Raven. I just don't know if you have enough damage to sustain through with a Bloodstone in front, even with Epicenter running, considering how much output Aurora has at this point. And considering the defensive resources Aurora has as well, they've got the full pipe on jabs, they've got this reset option on Cowrie. I'm not sure if the Bloodstone would scare them in any way.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, there's a Gleipnir up now. Cowrie actually right by Jackie, gets a very deep ward and just casually watches the Lena as Jackie, sensing something is wrong, does look to back his way up. Meanwhile, at the top lane, Coil was committed by Mamang Daya, but it was a very defensive Coil, I do believe. Is now Jackie going to move in with the Gleipnir, but they still have help around. Abed will cut him off. Here comes the overgrowth from Lloyd, locking down jabs, but Jackie's the one in trouble. They'll both go down, but it's certainly a better start to the fight here for Aurora, as now a beautiful song. Cowrie lines them up perfectly. TA2000 looking to get to work. They'll take Mamang Daya's life. The Mamang Daya's still alive, but just not for long. He's gone. It really just is a bit of a clinic right now from Aurora. They will still defend the tier 2 top tower, but it's more of a matter of Aurora. They're not ready yet for the tier 2 tower.
That they aren't. To be fair, you know, that trade does end up in a 700 gold exchange in favor of Mantaps. But it's really touch and go. Aurora, they're still in a really strong position, just losing jabs. Again, their team fight potential is really high. It feels like almost for Mantaps to find some stronger success, you kind of need like Blink Overgrowth to be an option for Lloyd, which we're not going to be getting anytime soon. Not with your Treant Protector still looking for his own Arcane Boots first. And grab some defensive items to come in. Looks like we are seeing the BKB being built up now by Jackie. That will save from most of the control. Save for Lasso now from Q. And if they can kind of get this combination, Overgrowth, Epicenter, Kisses, there is damage to be done. They just need to do that damage onto a wider spread of Aurora so they can find more pickoffs here for Mantaps, which Aurora are just not presenting in a clean way. Their own BKB done now on TA2000, foregoing his Gleipnir for now. Just wants the defensive utility first. Join his team for these engagements. 5k lead still standing for Aurora. And for Mantaps, again, the simplest way to start executing this is probably just blink Overgrowth. Lloyd's done a pretty good job, all things considered, to find the Overgrowths he has found so far. But it's almost always a counter-initiation to when Aurora has either committed or are on their way to committing. Not quite the cleanest initiations on their own will here for Mantaps, that they'll try now with a smoke.
Question is, where are they going though? Like, it doesn't really seem like they want the fight. Maybe looking for a single pick off. Jabs is around, but that's Jabs you're trying to pick off. It's a tanky Timbersaw. Q's going to TP back down. In fact, they're TPing multiple back down to the bottom lane to defend this T1 tower. And so you're about to get the fight you wanted, but Lloyd, he does scout all of this out. So thankfully for Mantaps, they'll have the info to get the hell out of there before they get annihilated here by Aurora. So I say, Arbed still going to find at least one. Zephyr will get caught out. Cookie will be onto the high ground, but it may not matter. In fact, Q's looking for a little bit more now, looking for Raven. Burrow Strike, though, will create the gap. So they will only walk away with a support kill here for Aurora. But as you can see, John, I mean, it didn't really feel like Mantaps was looking for the fight all along.
You need a pick off. They understand that clearly. With an early retreat from Mamangaya. And now they're set up for the team fight on Aurora. All their big spells ready, song ready if things go southbound here. And just start to apply that pressure onto the mid. And options are kind of at least you still have Overgrowth Kisses with respawn. Along with Epicenter still set to go on Raven. It's just a matter of finding an angle. And trying to eat through the pipe in the process here.
Jabs just casually walking into 4 heroes here in the dire triangle, but there's just no fear. Q will jump in as well. They will try for the Bat Rider, but he's fine. Shackle doesn't really latch onto much. Lloyd's still trying to run, but Arbed's going to cut him off. Burrow Strike is out from Raven to try and buy Lloyd some space, but now TA2000 just casually runs in with the focus fire and takes him out. And once again, I mean, it's just going to be another support kill coming here for Aurora, but more importantly, they are just destroying the map. I mean, just completely dominating it. You just look at where everyone's situated, John. Everyone's on the right side of the map. Nobody's farming the left side.
And they can't. They're too afraid of maybe just getting caught out again, or they feel the pressure to start to defend these objectives, try to take these team fights with all of their team fight control on Mantaps. It's just difficult to see them getting that angle. Let's fight for over the Tormentor here.
They're going to go for Jabs once again. Jabs still a very tanky boy. Now the song was pop by Carry. He does cancel it as they do find Jackie here with a nice shackle. Jackie trying to man up, does take down Carry, but now he's going to do a TA2000 and he's not got enough in the tank. Jackie's down. TA2000 looking for more now. We'll move on to Raven and the focus fire. It's too much. It's too much. This Stamp Facet, man.
Yep.
On a 50-second cooldown, like, who thought this was a good idea?
Someone did. For sure, and it is showing up. I love that it was there for such a long time, and it took a pretty long time for people to realize this is actually not a meme. And here we are, post-TI, still seeing the Wind Ranger. Tormentor to be taken away. On the side of Mantaps, I don't know where you go. I don't know what you do about this. It feels like they're just not able to find these teamfight angles. They're not able to try to work Overgrowth into Kisses with Dream Coil and Epicenter on top, layer these teamfight control and damage on. The pipe is also mitigating a lot of that output onto the rest of the team here from Jabs. The song resets always on hand for Kaori. He's the only one to fall as well to support Naga. Not really a big target whatsoever. Bottom net worth for the Radiant side. In fact, Q is higher net worth than Raven and Mamang Dai at this point on our pause for Bat Rider. So he's beating out the off lane and mid. Not a good sign for Mantaps.
Smoke up again, Aurora. Not looking to slow down at all, and you can't quite blame them for that. It's just such a dominant game thus far from Aurora. Down towards the bottom lane they go, where Mantaps, they're still trying for this tier 1 bottom. Like, this tier 1 tower has haunted them for so long. And they glyph it again. They're still not going to get it. Q's going to jump in, lasso's out, Coil's completely off the mark, and now Mamang Dai is caught to boot. It's Just such a dominant game thus far from Aurora. Down towards the bottom lane they go, where Mantaps, they're still trying for this tier 1 bottom. Like, this tier 1 tower has haunted them for so long. And they glyph it again. They're still not going to get it. Q's going to jump in, lasso's out, coil's completely off the mark, and now Dia's caught to boot. He'll try to orb away surely, but it probably won't be enough. In fact, it will be. He's alright. They got the tier 1 tower, thank goodness. The creeps got it done.
Real MVP are the creeps, of course. They put in all the hard work when you can't push in. They'll get it done. Mantaps 13k behind, 17-4. They're still on the hunt here, Aurora. No rest.
Raven caught with an ensnare. He'll pop the epicenter. He'll try mid-reel, but the Bloodstone also committed. Problem is, there's just nobody around to really soak up all that damage, or is there? Arbit decides to jump in. Raven still running. Boundless not going to be quite enough, but the Spirit Vessel will be. They're messing them with them now, John.
Yeah. I think that was the Mage Slayer debuff that ended up killing him off.
Oh, of
Not
course
something we see all the time. And the Mage Slayer and the Orb Corrosion.
Oh, Arbit. He's found Lloyd now. Lloyd literally just TP'd in, and Lloyd's going right down.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah. I think this point for Mantaps, you might have to just
Is under attack.
take the time to reset.
Top tower
Yeah.
is under attack.
Yeah, I think you might be right, John. Zephyr's gone.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Now they're still trying. I mean, at the very least, I was going to say Jackie's still farming well, but it's it's not going to be enough. I don't think against this damn Wind Ranger.
Nope. And it kind of goes back to what we were saying about this Lina into Wind Ranger. Once BKBs are up, you're kind of gunning for an MKB. Lina's farming pace isn't too bad, but it's a lot of gold to counteract that hero. And it didn't feel like Jackie really utilized the early tempo he would have had up against the Wind Ranger anyhow. Playing as a pos one, you can't really fault him, but he wasn't really keen on rotating with his team, on trying to pressure TA2000. Raven...
I mean, he's popped the Bloodstone, but TA2000 obviously just going to stand right outside of it. And it really bothers me that they gave this facet to Wind Ranger, but didn't lower the cooldown. Didn't up the cooldown of Focus Fire. Because now it's just like every minute he can go for a kill. And it's no problem.
Yeah. It's kind of nuts. I feel like you add plus 20, and the spell kind of balances out. It's still kind of crazy. But at least 20 seconds more. Make it a little bit longer, especially in late game. Like 30 seconds for a 9-second duration is legitimately insane for how much damage you will do in those 9 seconds anyhow. The uptime is just ridiculous value. Roshan just cleaned up like that with the amp damage rune running on TA2000 for a little bit longer there. Aegis now up on our Wind Ranger, and Mantaps, we just haven't seen a team fight out from them. Again, their initiation tools aren't really there. Daya has the Blink, but you don't have Blink follow through from Raven or from Lloyd. It just doesn't feel like they're able to find the angles in. It's always a challenge, of course, when you're playing up against, let's say, a Monkey King. It's hard to be confident in journeying out on the map to try to hunt someone down. But Aurora has had free reign on the map, only losing that bot tier 1-2 to creeps. Everything else still in solid control for the side of Aurora. Got the Blink coming out for jabs. Kaori getting his own Blink up. Abed going for his own Gleipnir now, with a Manta up to help dispel some of the hold here. A Manta as well for TA2000 into the Revenant's Brooch that we've seen a couple of times queued up. I don't think we've had a game stall long enough to have to go Revenant's Brooch Wind Ranger just yet. I don't think this game is going to be the exception. I mean, there's scaling potential for sure, and Jackie's getting farm. I feel like that's what we've been saying about a lot of Jackie's teams very recently, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, bottom tier 2 tower now gonna go down slowly but surely here to TA2000.
Dire's bottom tower is
I mean,
under
they're not going too wild here, Aurora. They're still, playing relatively safely, just paying respects to Mantaps' ability to be able to make a comeback in this game one. You are starting to get to the point now where you start to almost expect high ground to come in very, very soon. They've still got 3 minutes on the Aegis as well, so I anticipate that they'll at least try once. So we are going to see a bit of a smoke out from the boys here on Mantaps, but they do now have the full Parasma up on Among Dire, so it looks like they want to try and force a fight.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Hoping
attack.
somebody shows in this mid lane and just tries to farm the creep wave, but nobody going for it quite yet. TA2000, do you want it? It won't matter. They'll show anyway. He knows they're there.
Oh, Q has a BKB now as well. Still more fun than
Jabs.
Raven.
Dire's courier
Jabs is okay. TA2000 going pretty deep here, trying to bait a team fight, and he actually has got one here with Raven jumping in with the Burrow Strike, and Raven looking pretty damn dead. Meanwhile, Jabs looking for some more targets at TA2000. He'll pop the focus fire, chasing down Jackie. Lasso's out from Q, and Jackie is as good as dead. I mean, they're not calling it, John, but
middle tower is under attack.
yeah, this game is looking well and truly over.
That it is. I appreciate the tenacity, but none of it's just connecting. You've got Raven going back for a blink now. Don't think he's going to have time to finish that up. Maybe you kill off Kaori, but
Oh
no,
my
you can't even do
God.
that. No one to connect. Yeah.
They'll go for
this-
the double Raxes, of course.
Are fortified. Radiant's
I mean, they're stalling out with Daya. He's cutting off the creep wave down bot at the very least. They're cutting off top as well with Lloyd. So they only have this one creep wave from mid to work with, but it's more than enough to find these Raxes and again maybe an extra on the bot. Huh. What
Get through
silver
bottom tower.
linings can you see? All right, your high ground's under siege. You don't have overgrowth. One last team fight, I suppose.
Among Dire, Dreamcore is committed. He found 2 targets with that. Problem is one of them had an Aegis up and Q has a BKB up, so he's perfectly fine as now the song has been committed by Kaori, but it is to retreat. They're not looking to re-engage. They just want to get the hell out of there without anyone being lost, or do they? It's the classic
Oh,
bait
Daya.
and the turnaround. Perfect setup from Jabs. On him among Daya, that'll be one con, and now Zephyr just gets annihilated as TA2000 completely ignores Raven, looking for Jackie, and he's found him. GG's call. They've seen enough finally. In this game one, it really just wasn't even close.
That it wasn't. Aurora run a clinic right through Mantaps, and Mantaps for their
Boulder Smash and just kind of do it that way. If the lane gets too hard, just clear out the way with Boulder Smash and chances are you'll be okay.
prepare
See how it does pan out. Game number 2. Again, Aurora, 1 game up thus far. He actually goes for level 1 Boulder Smash as well, so pretty standard, just wants to be able to secure any range creeps quite easily. Obviously, we've already gone over this, John, but if you play Earth Spirit with Stepping Stone, you're not really an Earth
here we
Spirit
go.
player, are you, John?
Oh, you're not a real Earth Spirit player. Oh, you're not a real Earth Spirit player. Elitist.
I don't make the rules, John. I don't make the rules.
You don't. You're also, yeah. You don't make the rules.
I'll bet. He's hunting around for a reward. Sadly for him, there's no rewards placed yet from the Radiant end, so we'll find nothing. In fact, Momong Dai looks like he's not going to get a ward anyway.
to battle.
They'll place it in the Dire jungle, rather. Well, there you go.
Blocks off the camp as well.
Very nice.
Ensuring maybe no early stacks can be built up here with Naga Illusions from Kaori. Cutting off some of that economy that Aurora can start to build up. A little bit more heads up from them. Again, that was something Aurora ran away with in game 1.
Oh, TA.
The battle begins.
TA2000 going to say hello to Zephyr. Meanwhile, the southern side of things, it's going to be a 2-for-2 trade on the boundary ring. So another nice even start. Of course, that mid lane that we were kind of discussing already, you're going to have Mamangdaya and Abed going at it once again. Mamangdaya does definitely have an advantage, but Abed's certainly probably already aware of how to play this matchup, and, you know, things get tough. Just push out the wave with Boulder Smash and just go jungle. That's it. You'll be right.
Yeah. Shouldn't be too bad for Abed as long as he respects that spacing with Mamangdaya. Of course, Daya should have a bit of a better time as long as he can constantly get the sluggers lined up, get a couple of enchant totems off. He's going to be feeling great here. So you can already see Abed's HP not the healthiest from copying one enchant. See how it develops down the line, and again, should be much better for Daya. Some rotations can make that work against him. Heck, even some early activity from TA2000 can come in. We've seen NPs be willing to get a rotation out onto other lanes. Taking a look at those other lanes right now. Down bot, you do have Jabs. Once again, in terms of with Q on that Dark Willow up against Lloyd and Jackie on the Shadow Demon DK. Ought to be a relatively stable lane for Jackie, but also not too bad for Jabs. Initial levels are maybe a little bit rougher, but once you can cop the trades, you've always got the Whirling Death to threaten a melee core like the DK. And Lloyd, I mean, he can cut off Timber Chain chase downs with a disruption, but kill potential in this lane for the side of Mantaps isn't particularly high as long as Jabs understands the first two levels probably aren't the best here for the Tim. But
it'll be alright. I mean, it still looks like it's going to be a pretty easy lane for Jabs and Q. Like, not really much in the way of contesting this Timbersaw. Lloyd obviously doesn't even go for points in the Shadow Poison yet, so not really able to push him out either. That top lane, I can kind of say the same thing for Aurora. Like, it does feel like TA2000's probably going to have a relatively free time on the Nature's Prophet. Can't really see too much in the way of aggression. Certainly Zephyr and Raven could try. I'd much prefer to see them trying to aim Cowrie down, but even that might be a little bit challenging on their end of things. Well, very nice block there from TA2000, just denying the pull away from Raven with the Treant. And God, I hate this graded Treant, Jonathan. It's just kind of ridiculous.
It's the worst thing in the world. I can't believe this thing still is the way it is. Gives very little gold if you actually try to kill it off. If you try to trade with it for too long, have fun trading with 1k HP on a creep early on in the laning phase. And the worst thing about it is if you click it right now, it doesn't even move in its portrait. As they get to jump in.
It doesn't move, Jonathan. Raven.
It's
Well,
disturbing.
they're not going to be able to keep up with TA2000. They'll try for Cowrie. Cowrie might go down here. Zephyr continuing the chase. Problem is TA2000's just dishing so much damage back the way of Raven, but Zephyr able to secure first blood. A nice start here for the offlane of Aurora. Excuse me, rather for Mantaps.
That it is. That's something you certainly want to get going here. I mean, that punishment onto the Naga is pretty big. You steal away the Lotus as well, so you've got some flash regen on hand here for Zephyr. And as the levels go up for Raven, there certainly is play potential here. Uproar to get some armor from the right-click poke harass. Makes it a lot more stable for Raven. Probably looking at level 3-4 when the aggression can really start to kick in, with level 3 at the very least for Zephyr to get steadier connections on the rebound. Overall, I don't think you're too unhappy on Aurora. Like, yeah, bleeding first blood away is not the best thing in the world. At the same time, you know, TA2000 is still going to be farming up no problem. Raven's at 6 CS in comparison to the 18 on TA2000, so it's a first blood kill at huge cost in terms of what you're getting out in this lane.
Bottom lane going very well for Jackie thus far here on the DK, just top of the CS board once again. Though I can't say I'm quite surprised. I mean, this is something we naturally see from Jackie in most games. Seems like playing very, very safely here against Jabs and Q. Let's have the support of Lloyd at any time with the disruption to save. Meanwhile, mid lane, Mamangdaya trying to dive T1 towers, but Abed looking to punish. Of course, the CS difference isn't really too bad at all between Mamangdaya and Abed. About 4 CS ahead is Mamangdaya, is Abed just going to go ahead and roll right through to the creep wave. And that's another way to deal with the Earth Spirit. Just completely avoid him and just drag the creep wave away.
I think the big thing for Daya is the denies, though. 17 denies up against Abed's 4. Already a full level ahead for Daya. Going to hit 6 a little bit faster here as well. That's certainly going to be a bit of an issue for the side of Aurora.
Zephyr will take the banner in a way of Abed. Kick onto the high ground. Not going to quite be there for Zephyr. Abed's still going to get away with his creep wave, but does miss out on the bottle refill and the bounty rune, sadly. And bit of a reversal here from the side of Mantaps. As top lane, Raven will go down, but it seems like at the very least Mantaps trying to pressure Abed as much as humanly possible, as they did Mamang Daya last game.
They are, and it's paying off. Abed, his
wave, but does miss out on the bottle refill and the bounty rune, sadly. And bit of a reversal here from the side of Mantaps. As top lane, Raven will go down, but it seems like at the very least Mantaps trying to pressure Abed as much as humanly possible, as they did Mamang Daya last game.
They are, and it's paying off. Abed, his urn is still set to fly out at decent enough timing. And the issue is whether or not he can actually find a connection. Certainly doesn't feel like they're going to be looking for it on mid, with level 6 now up on Daya. Again, down to these denies. Oh!
Lane. Abed. Very, very close to dying. Mamang Daya so close, just needs to get within range. He's just so close and he gets it.
Oh,
here comes Carry. They want to try and trade, but Carry might just drop very, very fast as Mamang Daya. He's hitting so hard right now, but so Carry can create the distance. Mamang Daya does go down. Zephyr in trouble to boot. Lloyd ready to help out. Does throw the disruption, but now it might be a 2-for-1 special. Lloyd's down. Zephyr, he does get a shield room. So that'll really ensure he survives and gets the hell out of there.
And does. A pretty big kill onto Abed, but the commitment afterwards. Aurora getting all of this early activity out for TA2000 is pretty massive early on. He doesn't even have to commit the Wrath of Nature, not that he has the mana, as he does head in at level 5. And again, it frees up the side lane. So bot lane for Jabs is a solo lane up against a DK. Sure, the DK is finding farm, but so is Jabs. You know how much Jabs can do early on once he gets going here. With at least one Aura item into the Kaya. That's the same build order he'll gun for. Wisdom Rune.
Middle tower is under attack.
By Lloyd. Does manage to pick it up though, Cowrie. Needs to find a way out now as the Naga Siren, and has no TP available, so it's going to be all about the space creation here for Cowrie. Dodges the rebound, but it won't matter. He's certainly just going to die. Sure, I mean, there's no way he gets him. He's bought a lot of time though. That's a 30-second amount of time he just bought.
That it is. It's a lot of space for Aurora. They're already grouped up bot. Siege in. There is a ward that watches Abed's hold on the ramp. Or at least they are aware, but they do have their own forward ward down here now for Aurora as well to secure the siege onto the tier 1. They're getting a decent amount of room out for TA2000 as well to just play the jungle. I think overall, a much more even game for sure. And Mantaps having that opportunity to start playing early does make a world of difference in comparison to game 1 here.
Blue does mid lane. Jump is there. Mamang Daya. Earth Shaker. Echo Slam committed. Q does go down. Abed. We've popped the Magnetize, but actually ended up missing. Just out of range, so couldn't really follow up with that. And Abed, he still wants to go. Roll connects, but what's the game plan here, Abed? Lloyd? I mean, they might find the Shadow Demon, but it's certainly not going to be worth all the deaths you just gave away. And Abed just maybe getting a little bit excited with the roll in.
And it did seem like good punishment coming out from Mantaps again. And this early presence is really making a world of difference. You're getting Jackie space, yes, as you were in game 1, but your rotations are leading to success. Feels like every time Mamang Daya has Slam ready, he's just willing to commit. Does net himself some pretty big kills. Our Earth Spirit still not able to finish up into the Spirit Vessel, not able to get a rotation out of mid lane into any of the side lanes. As all the attention is on Abed at the moment. Does make it particularly challenging. It's giving Raven a lot more room to breathe here in comparison to his Sand King came last time around. He is keeping up in farm. Abed is actually bottom network core. Barely above power you now. So not where you'd want to be on the Earth Spirit this early in the game, but again, not many opportunities so far for Abed.
Certainly not. Abed's had a bit of a rough start to this game too. Top T1 tower.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Jackie's going to show up as well. Carrie's still going to kind of just stand his ground and get to ensnare off in the meantime. Not really going to do too much, but it's a bit of a warning shot here against Jackie, and it seems like the DK is just going to leave the area.
Radiant are scanning.
So nothing really to come out of this. So they're not really interested in committing for this T1 quite yet. Back to the farm game it is for both these sides. Nobody really wants to move yet by the looks of it.
No. And the farm game isn't too bad for Aurora. Their tempo does come online maybe a little bit faster, although they'll get to jump onto Abed again.
They certainly will. Abed going down another time. Very strong plays here from Among Dire and Zephyr. And Abed, I mean, the Earth Spirit, John, you know, it doesn't have a great time against Shaker, and well, Abed maybe making a few mistakes as top lane. Raven does go down. Lloyd also going to be followed up here. Will also go down. Another easy pick off here for the side of Aurora. The only thing kind of holding the back right now is the mid-earth spirit. Among Dire, terrorize that from Q. Here comes Abed. See if they can find it, but they didn't have the Brambles Maze, and now they finally do. Still moving in. They'll get the Magnetize off this time, but Among Dire is actually a pretty tanky boy. They'll continue to try. Q finally gets the job done, but he will lose his own life. Still Jackie now joining up, still surviving. Barely out of there with the armor toggle, but Abed, he'll chase him down. He really wants to carry DK, and he will find him. Very nice.
Radiant's top tower.
As it seems like finally the Earth Spirit has taken off. And that's 2 huge kills coming out for Aurora.
Great read from Aurora. And you know, Echo Slam was committed for that kill onto Abed, and they managed to get punishment on top. And here's to back up here on Mantaps, just a little bit too slow on the response, and get torn apart. And there is still a lot of output on Abed with how well he can reapply Magnetize. Lloyd?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Jumped again, Lloyd. Just came back. Into danger, Lloyd. Eventually getting caught by Abed does go down. Among Dire will go for a bit of a chase onto the Earth Spirit, but doesn't really have any spells. In fact, Abed threatening to go back towards him, and they might just. Jabs is still around. They'll chip away. Here comes TA2000 and Among Dire. Destroyed.
Middle tower is under attack.
Just
Dire's
melts.
structures are
I like the reprioritization out from Aurora. They get a couple of items from their side lanes. And Jab's getting that Kaya, TA2000 getting the Maelstrom into the full Gleipnir. And they're all set to connect onto this Earth Spirit. And not much action across the side lanes, but might be some now up top.
has fallen.
Ensnare out. Carrier going to lock down at least one, and that's going to be Zephyr. The Raven sticking around, but there's not really much in the way that he could do apart from provide a rebound target, but now he could be in danger as well. Magnetize will be popped by Abed, and TA2000's looking for a TP attempt in. Roll's not going to connect. They're still looking for a decent stun here from Abed to really lock down Raven, as now Jackie's going to show up. TA2000 still holding onto the TP, still looking for the right opportunity. Will finally move in. They're still pump faking it. He's not coming. They'll force the terrorize instead to try and retreat. But Abed may have just been left behind, though. A nice roll away, and he's going to make it. He's alright. But my goodness, TA2000, I must have saw him pump fake that TP at least 5-6 times.
Radiant's bottom tower is
It does. It does force a lot of responses out from the side of Mantaps to no real kill. That's time where Jackie could be farming up, figuring out these stacks. Now he has to kind of share that with Raven. That's time where, you know, Jabs is just freely clearing out down bot, working onto that Aura item. Again, opting for the Kaya first here, but is going back for that pipe. A 6k lead still standing for Aurora on top of all of this as well. And the side of Mantaps, I mean, they've got Slam ready, they've got the Blink on Daya. Gonna try to find something here with Blink. It has been the Shaker setting up all of these early plays for the side of Mantaps.
Radiant's
See if they
top
can
tower
find
is
one
under
more,
attack.
but trying to pin down Abed with that full Spirit Vessel. He has a lot more HP off the back of that with a Spirit Vessel on hand. Might not be the easiest go for.
Jabs. Echo committed. Mid-chain as well. They locked him down for a long time, and Jabs is gone. But here comes the cavalry. TA2000 TPing in maybe a little bit early here, but Abed is there to back him up if necessary. Zephyr looking to be the first one to go down. Does drop, and Among Dire, he'll follow. In fact, they might even find a third now as Lloyd trying to walk away, but I don't see it happening. He's good as dead. They'll give the kill over to the Earth Spirit. It's like, yeah, you get jabs, but it just takes you too long. And with this kind of draft from Aurora, it feels like they can be at any place at any time very, very quickly.
They can be. Raven forced to TP out from his tier 2. Couldn't really look for the opportunity to jump in as well on the Primal Beast. And again, I appreciate these plays from Mantaps. Daya has the right idea. He knows he's setting the tempo for his team. Every single time Slam is off cooldown, he's just straight up looking for a fight. It's just that these single target pickoffs are... It's leading to Aurora finding these openings after the fact that Slam is down. That big magical nuke is taken out of the picture. And nothing else really nukes the same way as the Shaker does at the moment. You know, you've got steady damage from Primal Beast, you've got steady damage from your DK, maybe some physical burst potential with Zephyr, although he doesn't quite have damage for the BKB to back up the Unleash just yet. But, and just losing out in Slam means you lose out that threat, and Aurora feel confident enough to play into that. 8-14. And you know, looking at how well Abed's playing, man, you really got to appreciate just how crazy you can be on the Earth Spirit with that stepping stone, right? All the rolls you can keep going.
Oh my
You're never out of distance. What? Tell me that this isn't because he's spamming all the stones out, reapplying Magnetize every single time as they slam him again.
Yeah, as you say that, he's in a bit of trouble, but it looks like the Song of
Is he?
Carrie's going to save. Well, Carrie saved him, John. Rightio, Zephyr. Zephyr's going to go down. So will Momongtai. You know, I hate every Earth Spirit game now because you repeatedly tell me how great this facet is.
It is! Yeah, just accept it. Just learn how to
Jackie?
play with it.
Jabs. He'll chain away, but it looks like Jabs should be going down. Thing is, though, he has teammates on the way if he can buy a bit more time. And Jabs,
Oh, no way.
he's made it out. Oh, Jabs has made it out. And here comes Abed,
Abed.
seeing the BKB wearing off on Jackie. They'll move in once again. They want the DK's life. Jackie trying to armlet toggle mid Spirit Vessel. As Abed now maybe going a bit too deep, should go down. And does. They will lose Lloyd in the meantime to Q, but Q now between a rock and a hard place, probably set to fall and will.
Oh, just a little bit crazy coming out from Aurora. That was them covering Jab's retreat into a re-engagement into a tier 2. Quite a deep dive coming out from Aurora, especially since Jabs was not keen on joining in afterwards. So, a little bit of disrespect from Aurora, a little bit of overconfidence in trying to clean up, and that does provide some bounce back for the side of Mantaps. Not enough to really reel this game fully back in. That was a BKB charge taken away as well from Jackie. First BKB charge of the game, at least nets him a couple of kills, as he isn't fully chased down. But Aurora, for their part, still in control. They're getting the Shard up on TA2000, has his own BKB up and running now on that Nature's Prophet. Shivas for Abed coming up next as well. Plate Mail should provide ample protection.
Mid lane.
And they're still set to go.
Lloyd is already gone. The TA2000 he TP's in, but his presence was not exactly required. Another nice little pick off here for Aurora as they are looking to continue the bleeding of Mantaps here.
Ah, I see what you've done there, Mike.
Oh. What did I do, John? I don't even realize what I've done here. John, well, what's...
Jackie was on bleed. They're bleeding on Mantaps. Haha! Excelsior!
I thought that's where you were going, you know. I just thought maybe you wouldn't go that route, you know. Momongtai.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Caught out here on the Earth Spirit. Excuse me, Earth Shaker. He does go down. Meanwhile, Zephyr in trouble. Will rebound away. Jackie's going to TP in. He's going to give this one a crack, but it's looking pretty tough for him already. He'll pop the BKB, but he's got no damage really going on here as the DK. And the turnaround, it is coming very, very soon. Lloyd, in danger, does drop. They want more. Abed immediately looking for Jackie. Spirit Vessel out. Terrorize will connect. It's Jackie versus the world, it feels like. But Jackie, he's been caught again.
God.
He's down.
Oh.
What an echo. Momongtai, he's in, but it's still not enough. It's still not enough. Only 2 of them went down.
They died?
Momongtai is gone. He bought back for that. That'll be a dieback as now Raven will drop to boot. I mean, a 5-man Echo Slam. It was beautiful to watch, John, but it still wasn't enough.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That it is. I don't know if the game is throwing shade at whoever did damage to jabs, if that was the slam. Non-hero did 1248. That's a little bit rude. That's a bit rude to say that, you know, they're not heroes right now. They will kill off Kaori in the end at the very least, but...
TA2000?
Maybe TA2000 as well? He has no mana.
Well, he just had his TP cancelled to boot, but he's actually alright.
Middle tower is under attack.
Plants the tree, blocks off the vision, and manages to sneak away. I'm a little bit surprised that Zephyr doesn't keep up that chase, but... Oh, Mantaps, it's getting a little bit difficult. I love the way Aurora are taking these fights. Right, like, they're jumping in, they're using Abed as that launching point, sometimes with jabs. And TA2000, his positioning has been it's been perfection from this Nature's Prophet. His re-teleports in the middle of these fights, all these stances he's taken, it's been on point from everyone from Aurora. The big clutch song saves coming in from Kaori, the timing of the Bedlam and Terrorize from Q, instantly canceling as the BKB turns on, having that tool afterwards once the BKB fades. The execution's just really clean right now from Aurora. I'd say this is looking even more impressive than their past year. Just from execution alone, it looks even sharper. And it's a little bit concerning for Mantaps. At the least, they've got the BKB and Zephyr, so you can start to scale up a little bit more now on this Marcy. Do need more damage to come in here for Jackie, and he is going straight into that Daedalus. The physical output is not mitigated yet by Aurora.
Radiant are scared.
So as long as Jackie can stand there and actually physically burst someone with that Daedalus up, you will have issues. I think that was the one thing. He just didn't have anyone to right-click down. It was only jabs, presenting himself on that Timber Saw. And, you know, the Timber doesn't really care too much as the reactive stacks start to build up.
Absolutely not. Now Roshan going on. Be a nice easy Roshan here for Aurora. Does not seem like there's going to be any kind of contest coming out here from Mantaps. What is the origin of the name anyway? What does Mantaps mean?
Mantap is solid, I think, in Bahasa. I think in both Bahasa Indonesia and Bahasa Melayu,
Okay.
I think. So
Means
it's solid.
Are scared.
Yeah, I think it's just, you know how you used to meme Jackies from Indonesia? All of that.
Yeah.
Got Zephyr, you know? Mantap.
Yes. Solid name.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's looking too solid right now in this game, but, you know, it is what it is. This is Aurora you're playing up against.
Radiant's bottom tower
Speaking
is
of,
under
they're
attack.
coming. Lloyd gonna find out the hard ways. He does get caught immediately by Arbed, and
Has fallen.
they even just whip him. Arbed being a little bit rude there as Lloyd just can't get away. They're trying to run, but Lloyd is gone. Is there any more? I mean, Q's having a look around, but he won't find any extra targets. Neither will TA2000. But they've got an 11k net worth advantage. In fact, they did find another target, John. They've got Zephyr. So I'll play in TA. He'll TP up to help out. Zephyr, he's got a BKB and a rebound up. He'll pop it. But you've still got more TPs incoming. And Zephyr, he's not out of the woods quite yet, as they are eventually going to catch him off and take him out. TA will catch him.
I do love Abed's styling right now. He rolls in and whips and just stands there. Kaori will die and Abed gets the tip. He's feeling spicy, man. What the hell is happening to Abed? They gave him punching gloves in their video there from Aurora. Maybe he's been training up.
Among Daya gets TP away, or rather Blink away, excuse me, is now our Prophet's dying. He does have an Aegis up. Arbed's going to jump in with a
What
huge
is-
silence. Don't ask too many questions, Jonathan. He chose Stepping Stone. I have no idea what's going on. Mamang Daya, BKB up, going to save him for now as Arbed's rolling right back in, and Arbed in big trouble does go down. I do not know why there was 5 silent signs on everybody. Before you ask
Oh,
me, his
God.
jabs just completely
Jesus.
cleans up. Oh my goodness. Alright, chaps. Let's take it easy,
Oh,
sir.
God.
Let's take it easy. We get it. They gave you timber jabs, I get it. It wasn't a very smart idea.
Radiant
Certainly
structures
not.
are fortified.
You have to appreciate it. You see, you can apply 5 silences with Stepping Stone. Outstanding. It does nothing in the game, but the mental damage you do when they see 5 silence icons on top of them.
Yeah.
Tremendous. It just destroys you. Again, Abed, a while ago when he rolled up onto Lloyd, he stood there, he whipped Lloyd with a bullwhip, and just stood there for a bit. It's like, what is happening to Abed? We haven't seen him go this crazy in a while. He's losing it.
In fairness, he was waiting 3 seconds for the next stepping stone, Jonathan.
Yeah,
You know?
true.
He wouldn't have had that problem with the other facets, but he chose stepping stone.
He wouldn't have that problem with the other facet. He also wouldn't be as active waiting for that damn thing to regenerate. So you take it, you take what you can get.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They should give us more rocks. That's what we need. More rocks.
Stop
Need
it.
more.
Stop it. They gave you more rocks with stepping stone, you old man.
Raven. He's caught out. Oh, man. Just hanging around, gets silence from range. Stop. Oh, look at this.
HP.
Look at that picking on Raven. Just jump in and kill him. What are you going to torture the guy for? Oh, and a
That
beautiful
was
song
slam
as well.
on nothing.
Oh, that's concerning. He slammed nothing. BKB pop with disruption is there. Oh no. Oh no. Get out of there. If they haven't died from Aurora, they've died by embarrassment from that team fight, Jonathan. And with that, Aurora, tier 2 tower.
Oh, off they go. Nice easy siege from TA2000. 1 outer tower left to clean up. 15 to 31, 26 minutes in. A 15k lead for Aurora. And the side of Mantaps. I mean, there's still potential. If Jackie can reach into this Daedalus timing, and, you know, he's reaching that point where the DK's damage can be tremendous, they just need to stick together as a unit. Don't get picked off one by one. Aurora has a lot of ways to isolate heroes out. With his Earth Spirit, with his Nature's Prophet. Just kind of have to try to play as a unit. I say that, but every single time they play this unit, Jabs just rips right through 3 strength cores with a Timber Saw. So, there's no real easy way to execute around this one.
Bottom lane. Jump is there. Jab's just doing so much damage. Zephyr trying to survive, but Zephyr's gone, and Jackie just has to TP away. Well, with that, Aurora, I mean, they might be looking at a high ground. I mean, they don't have an Aegis up, but they're certainly looking at the much stronger team here. They could still play safely and wait for the next Roshan. I mean, it's not like TA2000 slowing down with his farm anytime soon. And in fact, they may just. Because he can literally just teleport and just farm the whole map.
That he can. No worries here for TA2000. In fact, still playing under vision. Inside of Mantaps onto that mid. They have their own defensive wards to at least spot out Jabs here. Quickly taken care of. Jabs with fresh ags as well. Is just going to be able to commit like a maniac now. Not much to worry about as long as the reactive active. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Is, well, active, I suppose. Aurora. Again, a little bit clinical coming out from Aurora. And Mantaps. To be fair, you have to remember this is a stack that went through open qualifiers. I'm not sure in this form. I don't think they've stuck around for too long. Up against a team like Aurora, where all of these parts have been playing together in some shape or form for a while. TA2000 Cowrie, Jabs Q Sunby. The parts are fitting together into the whole quite nicely.
There's his Daedalus up now on Jackie. I mean, Jackie, he's been consistently very good at the farming game here for his side, as Arbit's just going to casually jump in on his own. Jabs is right behind. Don't tell me they don't have detection. They finally get a sentry wall down. Arbit is going to go down first. Jab's still jumping in, but needs to get the hell out as now the song has been popped, but the Echo Slam committed by Mamang Daya right onto Cowrie. So the song continues. They are trying their best to retreat him on Aurora's Arbit. He's going to buy back into the fight. How does he get there, though? He'll TP to the outpost. It looks like this could work out for Aurora now, because Arbit's returned to the team fight, and it looks like Mamang Daya, he's the one to go down. Jackie now out of his BKB charge in trouble. Still trying to fight this one out. Mamang Daya, he'll buy back, but Jackie is gone. Jabs will just shred him. Raven, also caught here on the Primal Beast, should go down a boot. And it was a very hard fight because Abed was just waiting for the right initiation, and the outpost was controlled by the Dire, so he was able to just TP right back into that Radiant Triangle. There really wasn't much they could do about it on Mantaps' end.
No. Once that BKB fades on Jackie, you have to face the onslaught. That is Jabs. Again, strength heroes into Timbersaw, generally not a pleasant time.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Jabs will find Lloyd.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Radiant's
More
middle
perhaps
tower
as
is
Gary diving pretty damn deep, getting an ensnare off by the fountain, reeling him in even.
Oh my lord.
How disgusting is that? Zephyr, he'll be okay.
You have to really appreciate as well just how much they committed onto Kaori. They get the slam, they're not able to burst down, he's healing through with his shard, gets a full wand charge usage off as well, and it's just fully reset in the middle of that fight. They couldn't even kill off this Naga with the Echo Slam here. We'll try again with a smoke. Slam in 12 seconds or so here for Daya, but Aurora has already read a room, back off in the nick of time. Roshan in less than half a minute here. They can kind of secure that for themselves. Could be a good flashpoint for the side of Mantaps to force out a fight and maybe try to take that Rosh themselves. But Aurora will hang back and play patient. They need to find a way to just ensure Jackie can maximize this BKB use. Like, that looked like a pretty clean start. Jackie's not really able to clean up much more. I think you were expecting a little bit more coming out from this DK with that Daedalus up. Amp damage rune is scouted out as well, and there's a free bottle on the ground from Abed. Unfortunately, TA2000 does not use it.
Okay,
It
that's
is
all
what
right.
it is.
He's playing Nature's Prophet, Johnny. He doesn't have many buttons to press. You know how it is. Can't afford to have a bottle in the inventory to have to press as well. I've been finding a lot of banner runes here for himself, and of course Roshan has now officially begun once again from Aurora's end of things, and this should be their ticket back onto the high ground. I mean, Abed's already dealt with the top wave as well, so they have the top creep wave slowly pushing in. Smoke is out from Mantup, but do they really want to force the fight into the Aegis? They're looking. Jabs will frontline. Ray,
Oh, no,
They
no,
got an
no.
illusion. They popped their BKB on Zephyr. Oh, no. That is probably the worst start you could have expected. As Raven's down. So's Lloyd. So's Zephyr, because he gets terrorized mid-TP. Was that a Nagasaren illusion he
Yes.
pulverized? Oh,
Yes.
it makes
the
it
smoke
even
broke in the
worse.
trio line. I mean, it's fair enough, right? Like, there was a good position being held on the right side by the Lotus. And smoke popped, so they instantly assume it must be this Naga. And then falls apart from there.
Radiant's bottom barracks are
He's
under
got the Aegis ready. TA2000 not worried, although he will entrap himself for safety. And give himself some extra damage with his innate, of course. And we'll take out that bot. Top left standing, or we'll go for the full cleanup. You still have Slamung Daya. You've got Dragon Form up running for a few seconds, but not too much long. Abed?
Yeah, he's got the Ags up, John. He's alright. He's fine. He's just playing some games here with the boys. Jabs is not playing games, Johnny. He's
not dying.
destroying people on his own. My goodness, Jabs, calm
He's not
down,
taking
sir.
any damage.
The Ancient's
There's no
under attack,
damage.
by the way. The Ancient is going down while all this is happening. Jab's just kind of holding all of them back. So the glyph was forced out. Among Daya, he'll pop an echo, but it's really only on TA2000. And the song was committed anyway. The turnaround is incoming. This will be a rough one, I think, for Mantap. As TA2000 back onto the Ancient, completely ignoring the team fight, and the game's over. It'll be a 2-0 victory the way of Aurora. And what can you do, John? I mean, this side